Right, welcome back everyone, welcome back to another trading up video on the Rover Metro. As you see by the title of the video, can ceramic coating restore the paint of my vehicle? I don't think it can, but what I want it to do is extend the life of the paint and whatever lacquer's left and try and preserve the patina effect that the sun has created on this vehicle. As you can see, it's very sun faded, almost down to the primer, as you can see by the white spots. You can see there's lacquer peel everywhere, and where the red has faded underneath the lacquer, it's very pink. Now, I have washed this car and I have decontaminated it and I have machine polished. Now, we didn't go mad with the machine polishing. We went with just like a final cut, like a really fine cut, with a soft pad, not applying too much pressure, because as you'll see in the video, we started to take away where there wasn't any lacquer. We was taking away more and more of the red paint, and we was burning through and going down to the white primer. So yeah, very softly, gently did it. Right, so let's roll back a couple of hours. Let's get this thing washed, decontaminated, clay barred or clay mitt, and in the workshop, and then we'd done a couple of test patches first, and then we went for machining the whole car. I'll roll them clips now, and then we'll come back, and then hopefully we can now start to apply the ceramic coating. Right, so with these test pieces I've just done, I've discovered that the front wing, because it's got some lacquer on it, it's not too bad. But where we're going from lacquer to no lacquer, it's a little bit more tricky. So I'm just using a finishing polish basically, or a fining polish, Final 9000, with a refining pad. So again, with the lacquer, absolutely fine, but when you come up to the lacquer, you're really struggling to get the shine. It's still quite rough. I mean, that bit's nice and smooth, but the actual where there's no lacquer is quite rough still. I don't want to go too hard because obviously we'll start burning through the paint. As you can see, it's very patchy where obviously it's taken paint off, and on the edges you can just see here, and this is a lacquered bit here, and it's just gone through. The paint on this is so thin, you know, it's silly really what we're trying to do, but the whole aim of the game is really to preserve the patina of this car. So if we can make it shine a little bit more, put some protection on it, and hopefully it will last a few more years. Anyway, that's the whole aim of the game, is trying to save some of these classics that are really no one loves basically. Right, so I think I'm just going to go around and just do some polishing, I guess, get the car done. It shouldn't take me too long because obviously only a little old car. This side here, it's not too bad. It's mainly got most of its lacquer still on it. The driver's side is a little bit worse for wear, as in the tops of the doors are very thin, the bonnet and the roof very thin of paint, so just got to be a little bit careful. Just cut it back a little bit with some final polish. Not really trying to go too far, using the weighting machine to do most of the cutting. So yeah, we'll just pluck on and get this done. Again.
And the other one a bit too.
Well, I had a bit of paint here that needed to be a little bit more cutty.
Right. So what your little pot is?
How's that R&D stuff that you gave me?
This one?
The R&D stuff that you gave me.
Is that working?
It was just a fast cut.
Is it doing what you want it to do?
Not really.
Do you want something with a bit more gumption?
No, it should be alright.
Yeah?
Yeah. As I say, I don't want to obviously put too much heat in. I don't want to.
Don't want to make it white.
Yeah. Well. Well, it turns out at the front, the bit that you just saw, I was using a quick detailer instead of a cleaner. So this is just a waxless dead cleaner instead. Just an IPA, alcohol cleaner, just takes all the waxes and greases off from the polishing to give the ceramic coating something to stick to.
The next day.
Right, now down to the actual ceramic coating. I've been given two products by a company called JR Detailing. I'll leave the link in the description. But we have got Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light, and then we've got Gtechniq EXO version 4. Now the Crystal Serum is a consumer based ceramic coating, so that can be applied by whoever, and then the EXO is a hydrophobic coating that goes on top, which gives you all your fancy beads and all that sort of stuff. So the technique is, what I understand, I've never applied ceramic coating before, but the Crystal Serum, we're going to pre-lubricate the pad, shall we say, with the product, and then we're going to work at panel at a time. So being that there's such a small car, we'll probably do the roof in 2 sections and the bonnet in 2 sections. Do that, and then we've got to leave it an hour before we apply the EXO coating, and then it's got to stay indoors for 12 hours. As you can see, the door's all shut, so it stops all the dust and stuff getting in, and obviously sunlight, you can't do it in direct sunlight. Right, let's crack on and let's get this stuff applied and see if it makes any difference. So it's say to prime the pad with 3 full pipettes. I'm just reading the directions off the box. Obviously we've already cleaned the panel with the alcohol cleaner or ceramic coating cleaner, but you can use IPA apparently. I think I may have done a bit too big a panel. And then immediately buff off. And to be honest with you, it don't look much different, but I guess the coating is going to be there. I have no idea if I'm doing this right or not, but something's going on there. Right, I'll carry on doing the rest of the car. I'll just put little snippets and clips in just so you see what I'm doing basically. But yeah, it's just that process over and over again, and then we'll come back to you when we apply the EXO in an hour's time, I guess. As you can see, it's very, very hot today, one of the hottest days of years I think it is so far. Like 31 I was meant to get up to today, so wish me luck. So that is the Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light applied. Now, again, it's not going to restore my paintwork. All I'm after is to slow down the patina process and try and fill in any gaps, like where the lacquer is starting to peel. Just try and fill in the gaps there so nothing can get under it really. On the lacquered surfaces, lovely and smooth, but on the non-lacquered surfaces, still quite rough and it's still quite dull. It's giving it a sheen effect, as you can see by the roof, but in the sense of restoring the paintwork, it hasn't done that. People go on about how ceramic coating is like an added clear coat. I hear that quite a lot in some of the videos, especially the American videos. Now I don't think that's quite accurate, but as I say, with the lacquered side you can see the shine on it now. You can see the paintwork underneath the lacquer here has gone pink. Nothing we can do about that, unfortunately, but overall happy with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that an hour now. It's take me literally an hour to coat the car, so in theory I could probably start where I've started doing the roof. I could probably work my way around, that'd be absolutely fine. I'm going to leave it an hour and then we're going to apply the EXO coat, and it's done slightly differently in the sense that you have to leave it 1 or 2 minutes before buffing off, where the crystal serum you have to buff off immediately. So yeah, give it an hour. I'm going to go around, do the tyres. I'm not going to do the bumpers as yet, but I'm going to do the tyres. I've got that mirror to replace. I've got another one, and the alternator belt I need to replace as well. So we'll do that while that's drying.
A few minutes later.
Right, for the bumpers, I'm going to use this Trim-Ax stuff. I highly rate this stuff for black plastic bumpers and stuff. Might need 2 coats for this bumper because it's quite faded. You could use ceramic, but that ceramic that I use isn't really a trim ceramic. You have to get a separate ceramic. There are ceramics out there that will do a lot of things in one pot, but that one isn't really designed to restore trim. So what we'll do is we'll just use the Trim-Ax stuff, and that's a case of just applying it onto an applique pad. Make sure you get plenty on there. Massage it into the plastic. Obviously try not to get onto your freshly ceramic paintwork, which is going to be a little bit difficult, but all you do is leave that soak in for a couple of minutes and then buff it off with a microfiber. As I say, it might need 2 coats, we'll see how that dries out. But yeah, I'm just going to do the front and rear bumpers. I'm not going to do the trims or anything like that, or the mirrors. I did give them a little bit of a ceramic, so they don't look too bad, to be honest with you. So I'm going to leave them and just do the front and rear bumpers in this Trim-X stuff, and hopefully that will be the exterior of the car done. Alright, there we have it. All done, all coated, bumpers done, tyres done. And again, the roof has got a bit of a sheen to it, but you know, the bit on the actual paintwork itself, or the lacquer shall we say, has come out really nice. Just the bits that hasn't got lacquer, but there we go. I've even given the interior a bit of a freshen up as well. Just use a little tornado gun, just get some of the dust off, a little bit of hoover. New mats are in. So yeah, I think this has turned out lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it for a little drive. I've probably done, how many miles I've done on it so far? I've done 30 miles in it so far. Before I started cleaning, just wanted to make sure, I took it home a couple of times, just wanted to make sure that it was a-okay, and nothing was going to drastically go wrong. But yeah, I think I'm going to take it to my little photographic spot, get some nice pictures and get it up for sale. Again, we're sort of like 2, maybe 3 weeks into its MOT now, so we need to crack on and get it sold, so it's got almost a full ticket. But anyway, I've got my GoPro on the little tripod in there. I don't know how I was going to go, but I'm going to take you along for the journey anyway, and hopefully it don't fall over. As you can see, that little GoPro on a tripod. I've forgot to bring any of my camera equipment today, but there we go. Right, let's get in. Let's go and take it for a nice little drive on this lovely day, get some nice photos of it and get it up for sale. Right, here we go then. I've still got the choke on. I've literally started up and just start driving. So the choke's a little bit still, so it's a little bit sputtery at the minute, but that will clear through. Again, I've done 30 odd miles in this now, and normally with a choke car you have to let it warm up first before doing anything, but just to prove, I just start it up and just start driving, and it's been, yeah, just need to learn how to drive it really, or learn how to drive a choke car. Almost tipped over then, boys. What a lovely day. I'll tell you what, the ride in this is absolutely fantastic. So smooth, and the engine's absolutely smooth as well. I don't know if you can see me with this in the way. Hopefully you can. Hopefully turn the choke off now. Here we go. We're on a roll. 4-speed manual. Just spin them around. Try and adjust you a little bit. Oh. How's that? Probably worse. Normally I'd have my little cameraman James with me, but he's not here today. I needed to get this done ASAP so I can get the ad out. and get a video out to you guys. Right, coming up to where I'm going to take the photos now. Lovely little spot in front of a cornfield. And they've even mowed the grass for me. Right, let's get some photos done. Right, there we have it then. All done. So did ceramic coating save my paintwork? Not really. A little bit of a sheen. The lacquered areas absolutely fantastic. The non-lacquered areas, I think the paint is just sucking in the product, so it's not giving up the gloss. Basically, there's a bit of a sheen to it, but no real gloss. But hopefully it's preserved it a little bit longer, and obviously without a full repaint, then I'm hoping someone will enjoy it for what it is. I would daily this. Dries absolutely fantastic. Obviously we've done all the welding from the previous MOTs. We've even taken out more of the previous welding around the back here and redone all that. Full service, full cam belt, water pump, interior clean, done the seats. So yeah, I think this will suit someone down. I'm hoping a young lad or girl that's want to get into something retro for not a lot of money. At the minute, this owes me best part of nearly £1,100. So, and that don't even account for all my time and labour that I've put into the welding and all that sort of stuff, and obviously the ceramic coating that we've just done. So yeah, I think I would have asked for about £1,700–1,800 for this. As I say, it dries absolutely lovely. It's done 32,000 miles, and yeah, I'm sure that'll do another 32,000 miles. The engine just sings. It's lovely. All underneath looks relatively good, and obviously with all that welding what we've done to better than factory, I think. We don't know the factory undersealing and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think this car is destined to last another few years at least. So with that said, I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to advertise the car, and next video you'll see on a trading up, I'll let you know how much we're in for it, and obviously we'll do our scores on the doors. I've had to put some of my own money into this, so I'll have to retract that out of there, and whatever profit that we've made will go back into the pot for the next one. Obviously we've still got the Rover 75 out there. That's going to be the next trading up project. A little bit more work than what I was anticipating, but again, I think that's going to be a cracking little car when that's all done. So for now, we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in the next trading up video.